Music artists get frustrated with people not listening to their music every day, and really it's your own inabilities to actually stand out in an oversaturated market. Now, this may be causing you to lose some confidence with your music a little bit, and we don't want you to jump off that cliff just yet. Just hang tight. You can't just believe in your art. It has to be worthy to be listened to by the fans. If they don't deem it worthy, no one's going to listen. And so there are a couple points that I'm going to boil down in today's video that I've learned from you all. And you're going to understand that, oh, I need to make these adjustments with my music to make it better. This is why they're not listening. And that's coming up right here on the Music Money Makeover Show. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Music Money Makeover Show. My name is Casey Graham. As I was saying, I've consulted over 1,000 of you all, maybe even more of that. And I boiled things down to a few points that's going to help you adjust your music so it doesn't suck and so that people can start listening and appreciating what you do. Check it out. So this is point number one. The music sucks. A harsh reality to face, but sometimes the key problem lies in the music itself. It's tough to hear, but accepting this is the first step towards growth. If your music isn't catching ears, it might be time to invest more in honing your craft. Join music workshops, collaborate with other artists, and actively seek constructive feedback. In this era of accessible online resources, there are numerous ways to learn and improve. So keep refining your musical skills and you'll see the difference in your output. Remember, every great artist was once a beginner. This is really where I see the most problem right here. Your music isn't refined enough. Everybody wants to make money with this thing fast. Like even my course, a 60-day record label, it's like, I'm going to get you, started really fast with the record label. But the problem is the product that you're trying to get people to listen to is horrible because you haven't had enough time to actually develop your sound, your skills, your performance, all this other stuff. You haven't gone through a type of artist development here. And because you haven't developed as an artist yet, or at least the music itself yet, then the music sucks and nobody wants to hear it. So you got to give yourself enough time to develop musically. And the problem with a lot of these the digital instruments nowadays is that you don't get a chance to practice. Everything's already pre-made and ready. The producers you can get a hot beat out of nowhere. Like back in the day, you would used to have to look for producers that were hot and hope that they were good. But now you can have them at your fingertips. So it's very important that you really work on your skills as an artist so your music doesn't suck or so the production doesn't overshine you as an artist, because a lot of times it can. Now, point number two is you're not unique enough. We've been talking about this for weeks, but in the sea of artists, you need to have that special hook to reel in your audience. If you're lost in the crowd, it's time to define what makes you unique. Perhaps it's your lyrical style, your sound vocally, your sound instrument-wise, your style and appearance, and social issues you're vocal about, or the overall themes you represent and project. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone and experiment with different styles. Collaborate with artists from different genres, draw inspiration from diverse sources, and let your individuality shine through your music. Literally, it's I want to be a musician or I want to be an artist, so I'm going to do what everybody else is doing. At that point, when you say that, you really don't believe in yourself and you really don't believe in your success. There's something that you do that is different than everybody else. And if you haven't figured that out yet, it's probably not time to press go. Point is, you're not unique enough. You sound like everybody else. The music sucks and we got to address these things. So our next point is this: not enough content. You may have a few great songs, but in today's fast-paced world, consistency is key to staying in the spotlight. Now, if you're not producing enough content, you risk being forgotten. But don't mistake quantity for quality. It's essential to find a balance while consistently producing high-quality music. So plan your time efficiently, set a schedule for your creative process, and stick to it. Dedication and consistency will help you build a stronger relationship with your audience. So if people aren't listening to your music, it's not because it's not great. Maybe you don't suck. Maybe you are unique enough. The problem is you don't make enough content. People don't naturally go and listen to music first. That's not how people normally discover their music on Spotify. You may have a few thousand people discover your music through playlists. Great. But after they discover your music through playlists and they like it and they add it to theirs, they want to come to your page and know what you're about. If it is the other way around and people are discovering music through social media, then they want to see what you're about, and then they're going to go to your Spotify and add their songs or add your songs to their playlist. Ultimately, it comes right back down to the center, to the nucleus of everything, and that's content. You're not putting out enough content. Therefore, you're not getting the listeners that you want. Point blank, period. You get what I'm saying? Now, too much boring content. On the other hand, flooding your audience with content that lacks excitement or variety can be equally damaging. If your content is repetitive or uninspiring, it's time to inject some excitement. Try incorporating new themes, experimenting with different musical styles, and exploring fresh ways to present your music. Engage with your audience and consider their feedback. After all, risk-taking and innovation are intrinsic to the nature of art. You can turn your content from monotonous to mesmerizing and keep your audience on their toes, all right? We can tell when it's just really not good. And it's like, well, why would we pay attention to that when we have millions of other people to pay attention to? And I mean millions and people outside of music that we can pay attention to. So you got to make us want to pay attention to you. What is interesting about your content? Not one piece. What will make me keep coming back to your channel every day? Usually this boils back down to story and talent. I'm going to talk about that in another video, but it usually boils back down to story and talent. Now, what if my music still doesn't get noticed after making these changes? Progress takes time and persistence. Keep refining your craft and stay consistent. The breakthrough often happens when you least expect it. And I'll give you a little bit of a timeline. If your music is refined enough and it's good enough to start with, which is usually what it's going to be when it doesn't suck, then it's going to take you, it could take you anywhere from about 12 to 18 months to really have that breakthrough where people are like, yo, this is dope. Like, oh, he or she is here. So how can I find my unique style? Well, experiment with different genres, collaborate with other artists, and look for inspiration outside of music. Your unique style is a combination of your influences and your personal expression. It can only be you. And if it is not you, people will know that you're not authentic and they will only go back with what is authentic. So what if my audience doesn't like the new changes in my content? Well, it's possible that not everyone will appreciate the changes initially, but evolving your style and content is necessary for growth. So stay true to your artistic vision while also considering your audience's feedback. There will be some people in the comment section that will troll you and tell you what they think about your content. These will be your real trolls now. And they will tell you what they think about your content. Some people are really trolling. Some people are really giving you the truth. And you got to pay attention to what they're saying in the comment section. Because if they're not feeling what you're doing, you need to change some stuff up. That's user feedback right there. Anyway, let's get to it. Commit to improve your music, finding your unique voice, producing more engaging content, and stepping out of your comfort zone. Get started today and see how these steps will transform your music career. Now, you know I got to do this, but hear me out. All of this work, making sure your music doesn't suck, finding your unique footprint in the music and all that stuff that I just said is great. That's the artistic side. But remember, we're at the point where you're just getting started right here. So there's another place that you have to start, and that's on the business side. And we have to address that with this. So I created something called a 60-day record label course, and it's a framework to establish your record label in a perfect 60-day sequence. So contrary to popular belief, all artists are by default their very own record label and publisher, and I got you covered with both. We're going to learn how to set up your LLC the right way with a bank account for some base level anonymity that secures you from the prying eyes. And then we're going to set up your records and publishing division to collect domestic and international publishing royalties without the middleman taking 15%. You know who I'm talking about. And then we're going to utilize the contract templates in the course to get you to understand how this music business actually works, and it'll get you in the game right away. All the stuff you see right here is included. BMI, ASCAP, Sound Exchange, the MLC, Music Reports, Harry Fox Agency, Illuminate, All Music, ISRC.com, music distributors, and much more. This thing is really packed and chock full of all the information you're going to need to start. Click the link in the description down below to find out more and to get started today with this course. I highly recommend it. Now, also, book a call with me if you need a strategy developed for where you are or for where you're going. Or if you just got questions, period, you can book a call right down below and then grab the free stuff down below. All right. Successful results are yielded like this: increased audience engagement, more plays and shares, growth in fan base, higher confidence in your artistry, unique artist identity, and an increased creative output. All of that happens based on all of the stuff that we talked about today. But the failing results are this: continued lack of listeners, waning self-confidence, and a loss of creative direction. This is if you stay on the path that you're already on and you don't address the fact that your music probably sucks, your content sucks, you're boring, and all this stuff, right? Because you haven't gone into yourself to figure out who you are and who you will, or what you will broadcast to the world. All right, so this is where we want to be. All right, music money makers, so there you have it. If you can adjust your music with some of these steps, and if you can kind of bring this into your lexicon, if you will, and visualize some of these changes to your music, it can allow you to become a more engaging artist with the local public where you are on your local scene, so that people will begin to listen and give word of mouth about your music. And that's what we want to do. We want to win. So music money makers, if you make music, you should always make money. Log on to musicmoneymakeover.com. Jump into the 60-day record label course today. Book a call on musicmoneymakeover.com. Download the free stuff right down below. And I'll see you next time. Peace.